A yoga teacher's training course serves two purposes. One, for those who are looking for a deep dive into the practice of yoga, to understand at a theoretical, at a practical, and at an anatomical level why we do certain things and what does it really mean and how can I bring this practice into my everyday life. This is one purpose. Another purpose is to make a career out of yoga. Health and wellness industry is one of the fastest growing industry across the globe. Everyone is falling sick and ailments with stress as its root cause is increasing day by day. Everyone has tighter deadlines to meet, and with the rise of AI, the competition amongst humans has increased even more. So how can we all maintain a level of sanity is something that everyone is asking. That's where yoga comes in. How can you remain calm when everything around you is chaos? How can you keep your body healthy when everything around you is junk and artificial sweeteners and products? So these are two main reasons why one should consider taking up a yoga teachers training course. The level 1 course, which is offered by Bharat Yogavidya Kendra, is for beginners who have not done yoga at all before. It is for them. So we start from the very basics, from mobilizing the joints, different muscle groups, asking the very fundamental question, what yoga is, what yoga is not, etc. The level 2 course is slightly advanced. Although beginners can also take up the level 2 course, the learning curve will be slightly steep. So if you have already practiced yoga before in some form or the other, then level 2 becomes slightly easier. Otherwise, it's better to do level 1 either from us or from anywhere else and then join the level 2 course. In yoga TTC, we spend a lot of time working on the body. We learn basic practices which mobilizes the joints and muscles, and certain advanced practices which flexes the spine and stretches certain critical joints like the hamstring and the hip joints. So those who are meditation practitioners or advanced meditation practitioners, one common challenge that they would face is, how can I sit in a cross-leg posture for a long time? Or how can I keep my spine straight without it causing any aches and pains? So these practices, the body conditioning and the asana practice, helps to make the spine strong, the muscles around the spine sturdy, open up the hip joints, build strength in our knees and our legs, so that we are able to sit for a long time. 1. 2, the practice of pranayama helps to open up the energy pathways in our body. Another challenge is we are not able to keep our attention fixed on one point for a long time. That could be because of energy blockages in the body, or the dharana practice itself needs to improve a little bit. This is also worked on the teacher's training course. So it helps meditation practitioners in many ways. 1, to make the body strong, improve the prana in the body, and also improve the dharana practice, which eventually makes their meditation even better. So as a part of the level 1 and level 2 course, we touch upon many topics. We look at some important texts from the Nath Sampradaya, where we look at Shiva Samhita, Hatha Yoga Pratibhika or Yoga Pratibhika. Then we look at the 4 branches of yoga. We dive deep into the Yoga Sutras. Then we look at Ashtanga Yoga, introduction to Bhagavad Gita, all the 18 chapters, but at a introductory level. Then we look at some mantras and chants from Bhagavad Gita and Yoga Sutras and understand it a little more. Then we look at the Indian philosophy. What are the different branches? Where does Upanishads, Vedas come under? Then we understand the different Upanishads, the principal Upanishads, and the Mahavakyas, and how Upanishads relates to everyday life and how can it be practiced. We also look at yoga anatomy, the human anatomy, and connect anatomy to postures. So these are all the syllabus that is covered. A detailed syllabus is listed on our website and also on the Ayush website. So in general anatomy, we look at the different systems in our body, the nervous system, the muscular system, etc. In yoga, we look at we study the concept of nadis and chakras. In yoga, it is believed that there are 72,000 energy pathways in our body. Of course, we cannot find it when we dissect the body. These are all sukshma pathways. And whenever there is a blockage in one or more points in these pathways, there is a strain either at the mental level or at the physical level. So we understand the concept of nadis. And in yoga, we give importance to three main nadis: the Ida Nadi, Pingala Nadi, and the Sushumna Nadi. So we understand what these are and what are some practices, pranayama practices, and meditation practices connected to this. And additionally, we look at the different chakras. There are 7 important chakras in our body, and these are all the points where these nadis crisscross. The Ida Nadi and the Pingala Nadi crisscross at 7 different points, and these points are called the 7 chakras. So we understand what these each chakras are, and in each chakra there is a color and a geometrical shape. We try to understand that, and we see, are there any asanas or meditation practices connected to each of these chakras, how to clear these pathways, and how can one progress from one chakra to the other. All this is covered in detail in the syllabus. The level 1 course is for novice practitioners, level 2 for slightly advanced practitioners, and the way these 2 courses are approached is also different. Level 1 course is very rigorous. A student's day would start at 6:30 in the morning, and they are busy till 8:39 in the evening, with about, I would say, 2 hours of break time in the afternoon after lunch. The idea is to, keep them busy, both physically and mentally, and challenge them, put them through different conditions and get them out of their comfort zones. And when they are coming out of this comfort zones, a lot of emotions would surface out. It could be the way they are interacting with their roommates, or how they are interacting with the teachers or the class, depending on the job that they're given. A lot of these emotions come out. And it is designed intentionally because the course will give them a glimpse as to how do you handle these emotions. Because when we go out to the outside world, these emotions are nothing different from what they would face outside. So practically, we would like to show them how do you handle these emotions in a calm and a composed way. Level 2 is slightly different. We would like to believe that students already have a basic understanding of handling these basic emotions. And they would like to spend time to dwell a little deeper, introspect and understand, why am I here? Where am I going? How do I explain a particular concept to someone else? So they would like to become teachers or understand themselves a little more. So a level 2 course starts about 5 o'clock in the morning, and students have a lot of free time in hand. They have at least 4 to 5 hours of free time. Class gets over at 7:30 in the evening. 12 to 3:30 is a free time. We introduce mantras, so that mantras help to calm the mind. Advanced pranayama practices with breath hold, again to center and calm the mind. Advanced asana practices to challenge their body. And the free time is used for either interacting with their fellow participants or have personal discussion with teachers to make their practice deeper. So this is how the level 1 and level 2 is approached differently, not only in the way it is taught, but also what students get out of the program is also very unique and different. Level 1 is tightly planned. From 6:30 in the morning, their first uh, slice of the day gets over at 9 o'clock. Morning 6:30 to 8:30 in the morning is spent in asana practice. So we start with 30 minutes of meditation because the morning time is more conducive for sitting quietly. We give a few minutes of gap and then it's a longer asana practice for about 90 minutes. The next slot is from 10:30 to 1 o'clock. This time they are introduced to new asana practices and a theory topic. Then they have a break for 2 hours. 1 to 2 is for lunch and 2 to 3 is for them to rest. 3 o'clock they come back again to the classrooms. They're given a small cup of tea and immediately followed by another theory session, a discussion round, and an evening practice where we spend a slightly more time for pranayama practice, about 15 to 20 minutes, and again a 1 hour of asana class. This evening section gets over at 7 o'clock. At 7, they break for dinner, 7 to 8. They come back after dinner at 8:15 for a class up till 9 o'clock. This time, they're introduced to mantras, bhajans, or a group activity for them to interact with each other. So from morning till evening, they're really busy, and at 9 o'clock, they can only think of sleep and then wake up in the morning for their class. Level 2 course is, I would say, it is challenging in a different way, where the onus is on the student on how they utilize the time. So we don't keep them tightly busy like level 1. We start their day a little early. We start at 5 o'clock in the morning and we finish by 7:38. A lot of time is given for meditation here, about 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Some students can even start their day a little early as 4 or 4:30, but that's up to them. Then we have a 90 minutes of class and the class gets over at 7:30 and 8, between 7:30 and 8. Then they take a break for 2 hours and they come back to their class at 11, and the class goes on till 11, from 11 to 12:30, where we introduce new practices, new asanas or pranayama, and then they have a long break up till 3:34 in the evening. Evening we have a 1 hour of theory class and followed by 1 hour of student-led asana class. So teachers take their class in the morning and the students take the class in the evening. And why is it so? So that we give the experience to the students on how to create a class plan, how to conduct a class, and feedback given from the teachers on how they can improve their next class. So each student will get at least 2 to 3 classes depending on the class strength to conduct the evening classes. Then they break for dinner and there is no other session. So the day is relatively relaxed, but also busy. Only as busy as the student would like to keep themselves. They can use the time for either in the library to go deeper into each of the subject, interact with teachers one-on-one to understand the subject a little more, interact with the teachers to create different class plans, understand how they can take class for different age groups or different styles. So it's up to the student on how they would like to utilize the time. So this is how it is both challenging and relaxed at the same time. So a level 1 course is for about 4 to 4.5 weeks, depending on whether a student is taking a hybrid mode or a fully residential course. And after the level 1 course, a student will be ready to do their own self-practice. A student need not necessarily be dependent on a teacher to do their own asana, pranayama or meditation practice. They'll be ready to do their self-practice, 1. 2, they will have a much deeper understanding of what yoga is and what yoga is not. And depending on the caliber of the student, they will also be able to take some basic classes for others. Of course, it's up to them. If they need more help, we are there to support them even after their class gets over. Most of our level 1 students are taking some online classes for us. So we are thankful to all of them, and it's the efforts that they have put. Level 2 course is mainly designed for students to become teachers. Of course, they will have much deeper understanding than level 1 in each of the topics, but they'll be more competent, confident to take classes for others and across age groups. They'll be able to teach children, they'll be able to teach mid-age and old age. So we introduce different styles, different variations for every asanas, so they know how to progress a student into a complicated posture, or how to make a complicated posture very easy so that a beginner is also able to understand. So we give both the breadth and the depth of every asana so that they are able to customize it for every audience. The level 1 course is certified by 3 major institutions. Ayush, which is certified by the government of India, the Indian Yoga Association, or the IYA, is the second certificate, and the International Yoga Alliance, IYA. These are all 3 prominent international bodies. Ayush is widely accepted in India and certain neighboring countries. So is IYA. Yoga Alliance is widely accepted across multinational corporations and different countries. So students who are wanting to teach outside of India or at corporates, Yoga Alliance certificate is much more recognized. The level 2 certificate or the 400-hour course is recognized by both Ayush and IYA. We are applying for the Yoga Alliance certificate. It should be here next year. And once it's available, all the alumni automatically get recognized. So the level 2 course, which is the 400-hour course, we go slightly beyond the syllabus of Ayush. We introduce practices of Kalari, mainly to condition the body so that the body is more prepared for advanced asanas. We also teach Purushottama Yoga, one very important chapter in Bhagavad Gita. We teach them to chant the Yoga Sutras, if not the entire Yoga Sutras, but we try to cover at least 15 to 20 shlokas from the first chapter. They learn to chant the Hanuman Chalisa. Apart from this, every student understands a little more about the aspects of Yoga Sutras and Bhagavad Gita from a theoretical standpoint. So these are all, and we also introduce spoken Sanskrit. This is for them, this is so that some curiosity is ignited about the language. All the ancient scriptures are written in the Sanskrit language. So the intention is to introduce the language to them and for them to take it forward based on their interest.